Well, a very good evening to you from wherever you are watching us from. Thank you so much for sticking with us right here on Y254 TV. This is Power Talk. My name is Aguko. It's a pleasure being with you right here on this particular program. Thank you so much for sticking with us and choosing your #1 youth station on this fine Thursday evening. From wherever you're watching us from, we are coming to you live from the broadcasting house here in Nairobi, Kenya. And of course, today we have a lot in store for you in our live broadcast today. Let's talk about matters concerning conflict, and in particular, how to settle parent-child conflict. Are you having issues with your parent or with your child? How have you managed to settle all the conflicts between family? And in particular, when a parent has a conflict with their child, is it possible for them to solve them? When a child feels as though the parent doesn't understand them, are you under the protection of your parent or guardian? Do you feel as if you're not being understood? Well, some of these things are what we are going to handle on this particular evening show to keep you with, to give you the knowledge on how you can be able to manage these particular conflicts right here. To help us with this conversation, to my far right, I am with BenMark Njenga, who is an actor. And you can see also on your screen there, Zipporah Wanyeki, who is a counselor, a teacher, and trainer. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Mko salama?
Kabisa.
And I love the mix because both my guests are from different divides of, in terms of experience and knowledge, and of course, even in career. And I welcome you from home, wherever you're watching us from. Be part of this conversation tonight. Head over to our Facebook page. That's at Y254. Like the page. And don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. Head over to our post of the day. Drop in your comments on the comment section below. Ask any question. Give in your thoughts and opinions as we proceed with this conversation right here. Also, feel free to let us know where you're watching us from. And we shall sample your feedback a bit later on as we continue with this evening show. Ladies and gentlemen, Power Talk starts now. Let me start with Zipporah, opening remark, and of course you will also have your turn. We are talking about parent-child conflict. Based on your expertise as a counselor, you've managed to handle such cases, so many before in the past. Do you feel like when it comes to conflict between a parent and a child, that the problem is always going to be lack of understanding from one party to the other, either from the parent to the child or from the child to the parent, so much so that we should not say that the parent is always right?
Thank you so much, Ram. I love with your suit, your outfit.
Thank you. Now, someone chose this for me.
Oh, really? I'm very blessed.
They have taste.
He has taste, eh?
Yeah.
Now, talking of parent-child conflict,
yeah.
It is actually a topic that is a thorn in the flesh. From my experience, because I handle teenagers, I handle children, I handle the youths, one of the things you realize is that it is very common. And one of the reasons may be communication barrier. One of the reasons could be communication barrier, but not the only reason. Let's talk about age.
Wait, let me pause you there.
Yes, please.
As we are sorting out your mic, let me come to you, BenMark. And of course, Timothy, look into that. BenMark, let me come to you.
Yes, sir.
From where you sit, I know we've had instances where there is conflict between parents and children. Do you feel like it is parents who don't actually understand children? Or is it the other way around, that the children do not understand their parents?
Well, I think understanding is a crucial matter on that, but it goes both ways. It will not always be the parents' issue. It will not always be the children's issue. It goes both ways. Sometimes as kids, we want to do something and our parents can't see the other side of it. Sometimes they want us to go a certain way and we can't see their side. So understanding, I think it goes both ways. It's not always the children or always the parents. It goes both ways.
So it's both ways?
Yeah.
We have instances where people say that, you know what, children, obey your parents. in the Lord. For this is right.
Honor
And
your
somebody
father
knows that
and mother.
scripture. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment
With a promise.
with a promise. Yes, BenMark, you got it right.
But it goes on to say that fathers do not provoke your children to anger. So we have to put everything in context.
Okay.
Yeah.
Timothy, I hope Zipporah's mic is on. Let me come to Zipporah. Your opening remarks, I know I cut you short, but also chip in on what BenMark has said. We've mentioned the scriptures.
Yeah.
You know the Bible. You can interpret the Bible to fit your needs. You know that, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
And when you're talking about parents, it's two-way. Even to start a fight, it takes two people to argue. So these people, we may talk about communication breakdown. Communication breakdown in the sense that maybe the parents don't understand their children, and the children also do not understand the parents. Maybe because of age. Talk about the age difference. Ram, today you want to parent a 21st child century. The way you were parented in the 1980s. It doesn't work anymore. It cannot work. So this child, what you interpret as rudeness is actually not rudeness. This child is asking why. They are now reasoning. We are in the internet era. So there are many conflicts that we can talk about. And maybe we can even talk about causes of this conflict that we are having today.
So many angles to look at it.
Oh, yeah. Causes of the conflict. Maybe think about this child. Who the parent wants to be, you know, as children are growing up. Talk about teenagers, for example, because I deal a lot with them. They've graduated from their level. They want to be independent from you. They to this stage, they want to explore the world. They want to be independent. And as a child, you're clinging onto this baby. You want to make decisions for them. They feel like, mom is too much. Buddha. It's just too much. So a conflict comes because you two cannot resonate from the same age. So age is a matter. It's something to look at. As a parent, at what point do you stop making decisions for them? Why do you treat them like children? Even when they've grown, Ram a 20-year-old, but the mother is still controlling. You want them to wear this, you want them to do this, you want them to eat this at this point. There comes a misunderstanding. And you notice that as children grow up, especially adolescent, there's a lot of change in them.
Wow.
Emotional, psychological, physical, they're just there. If you do not move with this change, as a parent, utabaki kusema, watoto, parenting teenagers is difficult, they become something. Just learn, at what stage are they?
I love the fact that you're saying, you know what, we need to understand what causes this conflict.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You're saying just misunderstanding.
Oh, yes.
Age difference. Times have changed. It will lead to conflicts. Micromanagement.
You want to be controlling. Think about this person, for example. This child has just finished. Because of our own inadequacies, you do not know the upcoming careers that are there. So Ram, your child finishes school and tells you, I want to pursue graphic design, for example. You say, no. Lazima ufanye medicine, law, teaching, these, you know, the ones that we grew up knowing. The fact that you do not know that there is graphic design does not make it evil.
Zipporah, let me get it from you. Because from how you're talking, and you'll air your thoughts on that, on the same. From how you're talking, are you saying that more blame is given on the parent side rather than on the child?
Not necessarily.
Because you're talking about mismanagement,
oh yes,
micromanagement, that is a parent. You're talking about age gap, that's a parent. You're talking about misunderstanding from the parents. 99% of what you said
is from the parents.
It's from the parent.
But I'll tell you something, Ram. We do not choose where to be born. If we had options, we would do wonder, we would do. But we do not choose. So we found our parents there. And somebody said this, we do not, tell the quality of good parenting by the child's behavior. No, it is by the parent's behavior. How you parent the child determines what the child becomes. So your own failures, your own inadequacies will create conflict.
So more weight is given on the parents.
Yes. Okay, of course we know the children.
Call us spade a spade.
But there is that option. There's the aspect of the children, which we shall come to. But I want you to know that it is you who parents.
So the big chunk is from the parents.
Yes.
There's a portion for the children.
Yes.
All right. Let me get to hear this from you. Do you believe on the same that the big chunk is blamed on the parent side?
I think that will come down to dissecting the issue. Sometimes the big chunk will fall on the parent side, sometimes it will fall on the child side. Get it this way. As a parent, my parent has the best ideas for me, the best wishes for me. But then I'll have to see their side of it and before I make my decision. Sometimes they've been where I am. They will not always be where I am. They have not always been there, but sometimes they've been there and they know the consequences of whatever I'm doing. So if I don't want to listen to them, there will be a conflict and the issue will be on my side. The chunk will be on my side.
All right. Now, let's get straight to it. There are so many ways we can look into this discussion.
Sure.
But ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about how to solve. Okay? So let's not talk about what the problem is. Or
What causes that?
What
Who
causes
doesn't do what?
or who doesn't do what. So we are talking about how to solve.
Yes.
And we want to help you listening or watching us from home, how you can be able to solve your conflict with your child or your conflict with your parent. Okay? So how to solve, how to settle these affairs. And we cannot be able to settle them if we do not get into the ground. Okay? Let me start from the point of a tender age. To the point where this child grows and becomes an adult who can make decisions for themselves. Let me start from the tender age, and then we will move step by step. Okay, I'll break it down from childhood to teenagehood to adulthood, or we can even have these. They're called young adults. I don't know how what age that is.
We talk of children, then we have preteens.
Preteens.
That is between 9 to 12. Then we have teens, that is the adolescent up to
Minimum,
around 18.
I've
And
joined
then
them
of course
together.
now we have the youths. From there now adults and old age and everything.
But we must note that even if you're 50, if your father is still alive, they will still call you
still
their
a child. Oh yes.
It's still a child.
All right. Let's start from a tender age now.
Yes.
When a child is growing up and they begin to develop some of these characters, Zipporah, you mentioned that children develop characters based on how they were brought up.
Oh yes.
Okay?
It is true.
Let's start from the tender age. How can a parent watching us today ensure that they raise a child in the right way and in the right manner that will prevent them from having conflicts when they're old, so that they can be reasoning together and have mutual understanding?
Thank you. Ram, we normally say that things don't go wrong. They start wrong. So when you want to parent a small child, we say the formative years of a child are like wet cement. Whatever implication you make on it, it lasts forever. So when you want to correct this small young child that we're talking about, maybe a preschooler, the one in primary school, I want you to first of all know about the needs of this child. What are their psychological needs? At that point, when they wrong, because there are only two ways that we do. One, you can react. Two, you can respond. I am a Kenyan mother. All of us, 99.9, we react. Ram, this child comes home with no sweater or with no pencil or with no rubber.
Kiboko.
Akijaribu kukwambia aliacha kwa bus. Instead of you listening to the whole story and how it had gone, you've blown up. Na ile kelele unapiga, it is like this person has killed somebody. So what have you told this child? In future, please try to be hiding your sins and your crimes because mom yells at you. Actually, they accuse their parents of screaming, oh, my mom, uyo ni simba jike, she'll kill you. She's a lioness. You see, for small things. So if you want to parent this small child, one, don't react, respond. Responding is listening calmly. The person narrates, oh, I lost my sweater, my pencil, my what, I did this, I didn't do homework. Do not yell.
What should you say? What should you do?
First of all, be calm. As a parent, if there's one skill, let me talk to parents, that you need to, to get, and graduate in, is being calm, remaining relaxed. Because your blood pressure can shoot high.
A majority of our viewers actually are young parents. a majority of our viewers.
Yes.
Young parents,
Oh,
people
yes.
who have, young parents.
Yes.
Yeah. But I love that it is coming from your end. Let me come from this to this other side here now. BenMark, from where you sit, you see, one thing that I love, there's a big age divide between the both of you.
Yeah, sure.
Clearly see.
Kabisa.
Yeah. When you see how children are brought up in the world of today, do you feel like corporate punishment should be something we should remove, or should it be brought back?
Well, I'm a Christian and I'm a
It's
believer.
corporal punishment.
Corporal.
Yes.
You're a Christian and you're a?
And I'm a believer. And Bible inatuambiaje?
Inatuambia-
Kiboko ni ya mgongo ya mtu mjinga. Anyway,
Ati nini ya mgongo?
kiboko
Eh.
ni ya mgongo ya mtu mjinga.
Aha.
Anyway, we shouldn't rush to beating up people, the children. Sometimes you just need to listen and understand their side of the story. As she said.
When you were being raised up, when
So-
you were raised up, kiboko ilikuwa kwa?
Mimi kiboko sijaekewa chini. Nimetandikwa.
Umetandikwa?
But anyway,
Hasn't it helped you?
when I look back, it was for my own good. But then, siezi sema every time nili deserve some things, the parent had to be like, okay, next time usifanye hii. Hii ni ujinga bana, sawa? And you just talk. Sometimes we listen more because watoto hufanya wanasikiza na wanaona. Utapiga mtoto and then because some parents wanakataza mtoto kitu wanafanya. Like a parent atapiga mtoto juu ya kuvuta sigara na aende pale avute. So children see and they listen. So I think sometimes our parents have to lead by example and they have to talk. Because a friend of mine aliniambia kuna stages za life zenye parent anafaa kuwa akifanya kitu. So the formative stage, when una make decision for the child and everything, hiyo ni the parent. Mtoto hafai kukwambia anything. Then there comes a time when you're just advising the child. So if you inverted this, hakuna vile utaambia mtoto akiwa mkubwa, now I vaa hii, do this, enda pale, you can't, because foundation yake haukule hivyo. Na hata unajua building ikiwa na weak foundation ita collapse. So formative stages, the parent has to do a lot. You have to talk to the kid, you have to instruct them, na una make sure amefuata kenye umesema. So akigrow hakutakuwa na hizi story mingi, because mtoto akigrow hapo itakuwa anakupea the opinion, then unamwambia okay, I think this, I think that.
Let me ask you, BenMark, why are you advocating for conversational techniques of parenting, yet the authoritarian and authoritative parenting, hapo najua nimeguzia psychology books hapo, but the authoritarian and authoritative parenting, which helped you, isn't what you're advocating for. Was there a problem with this type of parenting that we are talking about now? Conversational styles. I don't know what kind of parenting that is. Nimesahau hiyo jina, the name has faded from my head.
Okay, so what I think ni kila kitu iko na its own extreme. So we won't always talk. Sometimes lazima kiboko ingie. See, that I'm not putting it aside. But si kila time kiboko itaingia. We develop a thick skin. Like mimi, let me talk about myself. Nilikuwa na tabia kuzurura sana. Mimi nilianza kumiss lunch nikiwa still in primary school. Nimeenda kuzurura. So nilipigwa nikapigwa hadi nikazoea. So nilikuwa najipata nishatoka, and then ndio nakumbuka niko kwa shida. But anyway, sindachapwa tu naisha. So sometimes you have to talk. So ukiona talking haisaidii, then you can bring in the cane. But si kila saa kupiga mtu. Utapiga mtu hadi azoee.
Okay.
Utafanya nini?
Ukijaribu kuongea na umekataa kusikia.
Kiboko na ingie. I advocate for that.
I really want to not saying supporting, neither am I saying I'm not supporting, but as an educationist, you know, the Children's Act is very, 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 very strict. So in as much as us, when we were parented, you know, our parents were just, I don't know, we were brought up, I think, in a police camp or something like that. Yani, those people were just military, the military approach. That is what they had. Yani, mtu anakutandika hata unaona umechapwa. Dhambi umefanya na kuchapwa hailingani.
And there is a way you knew when, you know, when they are coming home.
Oh, yes.
There is a way they are, you can know their footsteps.
And you are prepared. You know, your mother could tell you, you are crying because you think I've beaten you. Wait until your father comes. So you know your father is coming to finish you.
And I know, kuna yule ambaye amepitia hii. Unapigwa alafu unalia. Alafu ukilia na kupiga kwa sababu unalia. Alafu anakuambia nyamaza na kupiga. Nyamaza na kupiga.
Ukipigwa ukose kulia utapigwa tena.
Ukipigwa ukose kulia unapigwa tena, na ukilia unapigwa juu unalia na kwamba unyamaze. So you are wondering what do I do?
But from the counseling perspective, you realize that, as he has said that alikuwa amechapa mpaka akazoea. So corporal punishment actually doesn't really work very well. We can talk about something like, we talk of negative reinforcement. There are two types of reinforcement, positive or negative. When somebody does something good, reinforce, reward, praise that person, give a gift if you're able to, a pat on the back, a hug, that is positive. A behavior positively reinforced is likely to be repeated.
Yeah.
Again, you can use a different method. We call the withdrawal method. So this person who has done something and it is like a child, and then you say now, for example, maybe somebody who loves swimming a lot, you say no swimming for 2 days. So when you have withdrawn a certain favor that they love so much, they will learn now to tone down and, you know, to start behaving well, so that whatever you had taken away, the privilege, they start. So corporal punishment is really, really against the Child's Act, and even in schools and other places. But I know Kenyan parents, they can.
Can silence work?
Oh, no. Don't go silent on your child.
No, let me be particular. Your child has done something. They know they did a mistake. You come home, you've seen the error, but you keep quiet.
It can work, but not for all ages. There is
Not
an
for
age.
all.
There is an age that it can work. But now, let me tell you, when you're dealing with a teenager, for the small children, just observing, akifanya kitu hivi muangalie hivi ataacha. For the teenagers, you look at them with those eyes and they're like, so what? What are you trying to say? Are your eyes sick or what is it? So they try to interpret what you're doing. You think you're threatening them by your looks. They are not threatened. So they will continue. Actually, we normally say, if you want to punish someone, and punishment in this case, don't think about beating. There are many ways of punishing them. It has to be done immediately. Somebody does a mistake. So do not call your Kamau or your Wanjiru or Onyango next week for a crime that they did today.
They won't understand.
They will not understand.
Powerful.
Do it immediately. They have done it.
So
call this person. Dialogue. Today's child needs a lot of dialogue. A lot of it. Talk to them. Let them know what you think about this. Why had it happened? And I always say, behind every behavior, there's a reason. There's a very good reason behind a behavior. For example, think about a parent who is absent, an absent parent, who is never present in their children's life. Meeting inaitwa shule, never attend. In church, never comes. Their graduation, I don't know, they are moving from preschool to what? Never attend. Prize giving day, never there. This child will come up with a way of making you be there. What do? A misbehavior. Anachoma shule, ama anafanya a very crazy thing in school. And then now everybody will be looking for the contact of this parent to come. Haven't you come to school? Yes. Is what the child wanted you? Yes. The end justifies the means. So when they are misbehaving, find out why are they misbehaving. Is it that they are seeking for attention?
And I love what you're saying, because we are talking about solutions, ladies and gentlemen. Solutions.
Yes.
What can help you? We are saying the foundation you lay is very important.
Very important.
And it will help you to avoid conflicts in the future.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? In the future.
Yeah.
Let's move to stage number 2. We've talked about raising the child. You've done it well in a way that, I don't know who said it, that train up your child according to, did you say it or you?
The way they
He
should
talked
You said
about
it,
the
yeah?
Bible aspect,
Yeah,
yes.
the Bible mentioned it. According to how you want him to grow, and he will never depart from it.
Sure.
All right, we've tackled that. Now, we move to the next stage. And at this level, we're talking about the teenagers. There is always conflict between a parent and a teenager.
Yes.
And teenagers say this, they don't understand me. Mom doesn't understand me. You don't get me. You don't feel me. Huh? Only feel. Sio nasemanga je kwa shenge siku hizi. But kitambo.
Maybe he is best suited to tell us.
Uniradi. There's a lot. Siku hizi shengi may evolve sana, so
Shengi may develop.
A lot of ways.
I want us to take a short break and then we will come to that stage. Stage number 2. Parent-teen conflicts. How can that be solved? How can a teenager understand their parent better? And how can a parent understand their teenager better? That is coming up after this break. Keep it Power Talk. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We continue with this evening show, and we have a lot to touch on. I just want to recognize those watching today. Bad Culture, thank you so much. Anasema tune in. OG Wakasarani, anasema that is a name. Anasema Naivasha Kasarani tuko ndani sana. Asante sana. This is Prince Pius de Francis saying that the way to settle conflict with parents is by running away. Sasa wewe surely. Timothy uleta hiyo tuiweke hapa juu. Bring it here. Ati anasema ati najua wakisota watanipiga tu. Ati akili mtu wangu. Anyway, wewe unajua wazae wako. Let's tackle teens. How can we solve this? What is it? Timothy umeleta hapo juu. Do we This is Prince Pius. Anasema by running away. Is this a solution surely?
No.
Like hiding under the sun.
No, Timothy.
Labda sir, if the parents are toxic, inaweza kuwa solution, but if they are not toxic, it's not in
Do
any
we have
capacity.
toxic parents?
Yeah, we do have
Zipporah?
toxic
You asked
parents.
that.
Do we have toxic parents?
Are you asking?
There are toxic
I
parents.
believe that a parent loves their child. I believe that.
Which is very, very true.
Yeah.
All parents love their children.
So do you have parents,
Yes.
somebody you can give birth to a child and you hate that child?
Oh yes. Separate parenting from their personalities. Those are two different entities.
All right.
So if you are a narcissist, for example, and you're bringing up children, you feel like they're the cause of all your troubles.
Yeah,
So you want to manipulate them, control them, do all manner of things. So we do have toxic parents. I've had quite a number of cases.
All right.
Oh yeah, and they can be really, really a thorn in the flesh.
Now, the reason why I asked that particular funny question, sometimes teenagers say, I don't think my mother loves me. I don't think my father loves me. Are they justified to feel that way?
Yeah, hatuwezi ondoa feelings. Plus, being toxic won't always have to be, I hate you. You can love someone way too much, hadi you become toxic. Like we have those parents, when they don't want you to move out because they want to use your money. They don't feel like you are yet ready for the world. So being toxic won't always be like, I hate you. It can come from love or obsession.
Sure.
A parent who is obsessed with a child.
Yeah.
And I also, to add to what he's saying, these are two different people of two different ages, and they are facing life from different perspectives.
Interesting.
What they are seeing, what a child interprets as, you don't love me, is not what the mother interprets as, you don't love me. For example, a child can say, you don't love me because you didn't buy me candies. You get it, eh? And the mother is looking at this is love because I don't want your gummy, your teeth destroyed. Are you getting it? So these people are looking at candies from two different perspectives. So I have really had that statement 1 million times. My parents don't love me. They don't understand me. They don't know what I'm going through. Nobody understands me. So common.
What do you always tell a teenager who says that?
One of the things that I do is that I listen. Why do you feel that they don't love you? And honestly speaking, their answers almost look real. because how they see life is not how we see it. For example, this parent who is all controlling, because we say this is a child, a preteen and a teenager, they go through a lot of emotional, physical changes, psychological, you know, they are growing. They have what you call identity crisis. They are trying to identify themselves with a figure fulani, a certain figure. They are looking for something, they want space. And so it is very easy to feel like my mother is so controlling, wants me to, you know, for example, let's talk about dressing, for example, shaving style. The child has come and wants to do dreads, and the mother is there saying, kwa nyumba yangu.
And is a chorus.
I should never hear or hear.
We will come there. We will come there. We will come there.
Is our kora.
Is this nywele za wakora? Ya majangili mnaleta hapa.
Think of even about what they do with their free time.
Okay.
A mother's interpretation of free time. You should be doing something constructive, like
you should be reading a book.
Yeah, read a book, pray, read the Bible, visit the sick. You know. Yeah, you know. And then there you are
for
doing some
things.
online games. You playing with another friend of yours who is in the different estate. They come and tell you, all you do is sit around and do nothing. This child will feel not loved because how you're interpreting leisure time is not how they're interpreting.
And when you're playing an online game with somebody, unamwambia that I am online playing a game with someone from the US or from the, anasema, how majambazi watakuja hapa kutuibia? How watatuibia hapa kwa hii nyumba yetu?
They don't understand. Kuna hiyo age gap yenye they don't understand what's everything that's going on because back in their time unajua there was nothing like talking to someone on the other side of the world virtually. Si kama say you had to pen a letter utume, it takes several weeks or months. So telling a parent that niko hapa nacheza game na best yangu ako US ako South Africa or wherever, they're like no,
that's not possible.
So how do you solve it now?
I think it goes down to learning a lot. Kama I'm very young na me get a comment here, you're way too wise for your age. The reason is I do learn a lot. I want to know what's happening. People my age go through this and that and that. So I think peer parents should dump ile mentality. I know, I've been there. So angalia hii generation, what's happening, and you have to get in someone else's shoes.
But they have been there.
Have they?
Are you sure?
Have they? Have they really?
Is there anything new under the sun?
Yeah.
Depending
when
on
you were growing up,
age.
did you have a phone at age 12?
No.
Thank
I did
you.
not.
So,
The first time I touched a phone,
after umeingia kazi.
after when I was an adult, after I got my ID.
So, huwezi ambia mtu kama huyo I've been there because dunia yake na yako technically ni tofauti kabisa. So, you have to try and fit in their shoes uelewe what's happening. Sometimes hata ni mtu ana feel maybe unajua tuliingia hii era ya Facebook, Instagram, everything. So, maybe mimi nikiingia pale as a child si feel ni kama nafika hizo standards. So, naona we alibaiwa gari akiwa high school na baba yake. Mimi sijabaiwa. Dad, you hate me. So, it's upon the parent kukuja chini kwanza elewe, okay, so this is actually happening. This is story. And then you see, maybe ueleze mtoto, according to my budget or my finances, siwezi fika, ama itakuharibu sahi or something, but you just can't say that I've been there. You've not been everywhere. Actually, hata mimi sahi, some mtoto wako like 6 years behind me, sema I know everything that they've been through, as much as hatuna difference kubwa ya age. I don't know everything that they've been through.
All right.
Yeah, we face different challenges, different times.
Let me come to you. How do you solve the problem where a teenager and a parent, the teenager says,
They feel unloved.
I don't feel like my parent loves me. How can that be solved?
One of the ways of solving that, Ram, is bringing this child close to you. How do you do it? Bond. Create activities. I have just told you, these are people who want to be left alone. They feel like they know everything. Bring them together. Look for an activity that can bring them together. Create quiet time where there are no TVs, no nothing, no gadgets, and you're talking. Listen to them. If there's one life hack parents need to have, it's dialogue, which most of us don't have. Because
we are too busy.
Not even, busy, that is one. Number two, the way we were parented, we were, you know, the authoritarian parent where I say, nimesema mufagie huku. And unauliza, mom kwa nini? ni kwa sababu nimesema. You get it? You do not give. But this child wants, why mom? Can't we do it tomorrow? Why are you and when they ask you that, you say umeanza, you've just started.
Unajifanya mwerevu.
So umeanza sasa kushindana na mimi. Do you know whose house you are? Are you getting it? So I think one of the things to do with them, one, shuka, come down to their level, understand life and world from their level. Number two, just know that they have so much going through them. So many emotions and hormones. So create quiet time. Listen to them. Learn about their fears. What is this that you like doing? What don't you like doing? Go for a hike together. Go to Karura Forest. Create some therapy time, some quiet time. I always say, if you can manage to have, to become a mentor to your child, you're getting it well. You're doing it well. Totally. Become a mentor to this person. Go,
and
if you love baking, go to the kitchen, bake together. As you're talking, you can silently or, secretively initiate a discussion. What do you think about this? And then you hear their view. Then they tell you, even in school, this and this happened. So you are getting into their world. But the moment you decide wewe uko huko juu, na mtoto wako huko juu, mutakuwa mnapitana kama magari hivi in the house. This one is with the computer in their room, and this one is in the sitting room with the newspaper.
All right. Let me tackle yet another stage here quickly. The stage where there is conflict between a parent and a child. The child wants to seek independence, but the parent is saying no. You will never be independent.
Not in my house.
Not in my... Let me divide. There are so many categories here. One, not in my house. Category number two, yes, you may be staying alone, but you will forever be my child. So when I call you, nikikuita, lazima uitike. So both, let's clump them together. Independence. How do you solve the aspect of either parties feeling as if they are not attaining their independence?
Well, I think we must see from each other's point of view, first of all. So as a parent, ingekuwa easier if you ask, okay, it's okay. You want independence, you want maybe to move out, you want to do something. Why? Because sometimes we want to move out. Around my age, people want to move out and they go out to parties without having questions. They bring girls and everything. So it's upon the parent to know the reason, the motive behind you wanting that. That's a form of independence. So I think it will have to be both ways. And then the parent must explain why you saying no. Because mimi kana nataka kutoka. Sielewi mbona unanikazia. I can fend for myself. I can hustle. So I want answers. Tell me why.
I feel like also children also give parents hard time. Because at this level, where the parent is asking, why do you want to do this? And someone, nataka tu. No, nataka tu.
That's ignorance. So you must have a valid reason.
Nataka tu.
Huwezi taka tu. How? So I've been there. Hadi mimi na my only reason ni nataka tu.
Yeah, you've been there. There was a time you said that you gave that as an answer.
Yeah. So you just can't say nataka tu. That's where the parent comes in with no. You just can't go out there because of this and that. This happens. Yeah.
All right. Yes.
I want to actually I agree with what he is saying. And number two, Ram, in any conflict, you must come up with what we call conflict resolution skills. And one of them is not trying to show like you're watering down on the answers of the other. It is trying to have a win-win situation. So all these children have is because they are not experienced with life outside there. So this child wants independence. Number one, as a parent, just know what are your limits. Because again, as parents, we are accused of doing it too much. You want to control from when they were children, the dresses they do, the careers they take. Now they've become adults, and you also want to control the wife they take, for example. Akikuletea unasema hapana huku huwa atue yao, and it's not is their life not yours. So you becoming too much. Do I use the word too nosy? You are so much. You are controlling. You do not know. I have heard of parents. The child wants maybe to go to this university, and the parents say no. Sisi tumesomea hapa, and that is it. You did not see the reason. Yes, we are a family of teachers, and you cannot go against our family. You must be one. So when you are too controlling, now they'll be running away. But if you come up with conflict resolution. Come up with a communication, a dialogue on the table. Listen, why do you want this and this? Because honestly, we want the best for our children. So the moment you see whatever they want is going to harm them, again, now you can come and shoot them, because they have to come up with a course of action. What about this and this happened? Would you be happy? Are you happy? Are you getting it?
Let's get to Facebook. This is Hemstone Mwingisi. You can bring it up, Timothy, there. Anasema, the way of handling conflict with parents, anasema, I just calm down until they cool off. Then we can talk. That's a very good way of handling it. I feel that's a good one.
Yeah.
Relax.
Oh, yeah. Be calm.
Timothy, we will come back there. Sometimes children insult parents. Is that right?
No.
No,
No.
it isn't.
But they will quote the scripture that says that, and you fathers, do not put your children into anger.
Do not provoke them.
Do not provoke them. They will say that you provoked me and that's why I insulted you. Is that correct?
But I will say that, one, it is wrong. But in as much as I want to say that it is wrong, when did the rain start beating you? Amekutusi akiwa 22 years, ama ameishi kukutusi akiwa all through? Because you must have seen it coming. What is this that you did that provoked this child? Because if this child was under the influence of drug and substances, now that's a different case altogether. But if the sober person who is not influenced, because I know children who have gone even to the extent of beating up their children.
Parents beating up their children, or children beating up their parents.
Beating up their parents. Like you literally battle your parents.
Beat your mother and your
I
father.
know you know that there is a curse that you attract, but what had brought that? Most of the time you realize that there is a third party behind. Either there was drug, either the person was a mlevi, or maybe there was a family conflict where the other relatives are inciting this child. Are you getting it? So there is always a reason to a behavior. So we do not want to tell anyone to, it is not the best way to resolve conflict. If anything, when you're very angry, one of the anger management skills that we train people, count 10 backwards.
Let me ask you, Zipporah. Between a parent and a child, who should calm down first?
Everyone.
The parent.
I love that you've given different answers here. Let me ask again.
Yes.
And even those watching from home, think about it.
Yes.
Ni nani anafaa ashuke chini wa kwanza?
I will
Between
tell you why.
The parent and the child.
And I feel, okay, this is something that we call it objective. Different answers can vary. But now, get it here. We are training these children how to resolve conflict. They are learning it from you, either verbally or non-verbally. Baba akikasirika kwa sababu timu fulani imeshindwa, how does he behave? Do you smash your TV? Do you break cups? Do you refuse to eat? So they are learning silently how to resolve conflict. So if you want to set a good example, wewe shuka kwanza, be calm, be relaxed, be what? That's my opinion.
So you become first,
Yes,
and your
because
child will learn from you.
You are the role model. You are teaching them how to solve conflict. So shuka kwanza ili wajue, in the event people are angry.
What if ni mtoto na amekukasirisha?
Utapata blood pressure. Utapata hypertension for no proper reason. Cardiac arrest.
BenMark?
Well,
Between a parent and a child.
I totally agree with what she said.
But you said
But
both.
Pia, everyone should calm down. From my own experience, nime notice every time mimi niko juu, my dad ako juu, we never come to an agreement. Every time yeye ako juu, mimi niko chini, we won't come to an agreement. And every time yeye ako chini, mimi niko juu, we still won't come to a fair ground. So I think ni everyone anafaa ku calm down, which it'll help if the parent may calm down or kwanza or the kid, but I think it's upon everyone to calm down.
All right.
We tackle the issues individually. Yeah, we have to help each other, so that's why I said everyone.
Let me go back to Facebook, Timothy. Cynthia Waithera is saying, amazing discussion right there. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Cynthia. And anasema, some parents are very ignorant. Wow, okay. And assume they got everything running for you, not understanding that you can't be them. unasikia wakisema siku zetu tulikuwa and that was their time. Hey, Sinta, who hurt you?
Toxic
Anasema solution. Ameoffer solution. Anasema, I think they should study their children, know their likes and dislikes, and their
conflict solved.
100%.
Anasema watching from Naivasha. Thank you so much, Sinta. Anasema sikwati wazazi siku anasema during our time.
Parenting a 21st child, century child is not the same way we were parented. So your conflict resolution skills need to be upped.
DJ King Spice anasema hello Amin. Thank you so much DJ King Spice. Anasema parents should be friendly with their teen children. Mimi kwanza wakati nilikuwa teen nilikuwa
I think anamaanisha naambia
nikiambia my mom them Sheng.
Okay, he says
Okay, let me read it for aya. Ati mimi kwanza wakati nilikuwa teen nilikuwa nikiambia my mom dem mwenye nilikuwa na date juu she was more than a mother but my best friend. Anyway, tune in from Naivasha ako aka Vasho. Hey, okay. I love what he has said. Yeah, you tell your mother about your girlfriends.
Those are people who
I agree.
But now, talk
I
about
agree.
a parent who react instead of responding. I said, but okay, umeanza, so you have now started.
Actually, I totally agree with what he says.
To go look for girlfriends or to go and study.
Unasoma ama kazi yako ni wanawake?
Yeah,
It can work, but it can only work when the relationship between the two is friendly. That is, you are a friend and a mentor to a child.
But personally, I'd love it if one day my son or my daughter would tell me that they have a crush on someone.
Cultivate it while still young.
Inaanza sahi.
Let them learn to tell you their fears, their frustrations, and even when they tell you something nasty, like, Dad, I broke your wristwatch, and you know you had bought it very expensive. Do not react.
All right.
Respond.
I want us to solve somebody's question here. Kuna mtu akona shida, Zipporah, BenMark, tumsaidie sivyo?
Sawa.
Deno Sparta. Anasema, hey Ram, hello Deno, ko salama, asante sana. Anasema, show iko poa sana, show iko top. I have a problem and really need help. I'm brought up by a single mother. Since I was a child, my mother never understood me. Of course, I do love her very much, but every time she always talks bad things about my father. She's always be like, unakaa tu babako. Meaning, she always blames me for my father's mistakes until today. This makes me feel like she hates me because of my father. What should I do? And of course, we need to, DJ King's first saying children should come down to show respect. Asante sana. All right, let's respond to Deno.
Thank you so much, Dino, for reaching out. Looking at what he has just aired, sounds like this mother has not healed from the breakup with the father. So the mother feels betrayed, and as a result, the mother is projecting the anger on this young boy here. I don't know the age. So when people have their own, and we shall talk to Kenyan parents and any other person who is watching and tell them that when you have your own inadequacies, your own issues with yourself, maybe marital problems, keep off the children. Let them be away, because you're only projecting the anger, your frustrations, your everything. Now, the damage you do is going to be seen later. Maybe self-confidence, you've just crushed somebody's ego, self-esteem. Maybe in future they may also have trouble forming relationship. Anasema kama wote wanakaa hivi, wacha nikae. So maybe for this young man, he could consider maybe trying to talk to a counselor, a trusted person who can also help him regain back his confidence, and maybe also try to air. He needs somebody to listen to him as he airs his frustration, and maybe even someone who can even engage the mother and tell the mother, try to put your issues with the man aside.
Now, let's address one area largely and one area in kidogo, sindio? The part where I want us to address largely is Dennis. He's hurting.
Yes.
And from how he has typed it, those are not words that he has just made up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's quoting them verbatim.
Yeah, sure.
Unakaa tu baba yako. How should Dennis manage it? You're saying, one,
Counseling.
he should seek counseling.
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh.
He should seek counseling.
What else can he do?
Apart from, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, so some battles we win with love, first of all. As much as mama yake anamwambia unakaa tu babako in a negative way, I think first of all anafaa aendelee kushow love to the mother. If the mother anataka something cleaned, just do it and everything. And then I agree, seek a counselor, find your mother's friend mwenye wanaelewana vizuri and tell them my mom ufanya hivi na hivi na naweza taka unisaidia kumuongelesha, because kuna zile times when you just can't talk to the parent. Unajaribu kumwambia mom pole, dad alifanya hivi na hivi, but we can move forward. So I think itakuwa a good decision kutafuta someone who can talk to the mother on his behalf. Amwambia okay, I understand you, this happened and this went on, but then unaharibu.
I love what you've said.
Sure.
You've said some battles are won with love.
Yeah.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Kabisa.
Some battles are won with love. Now, let's talk about the other part. When a parent tells a child, unakaa tu baba yako, unakaa tu mama yako, sometimes we make such kind of sentences, and I know sometimes we do it jokingly and sometimes angrily, but they leave a mark in our children's lives. Let's talk to the parents now. How can parents avoid making such sentences where they feel as though they are hurting? And in their defense, let me play the devil's advocate. Sometimes this child does something that reminds you.
Yeah, totally. I think it all comes down to healing. That's why I said kuna zile battles we have to be individuals in it.
Sure.
Kama ile time nimesema all of us tunafaa tushuke. So in this case I think the parent has a lot of work on her. Anafaa work on herself, juu anafaa elewe okay, the child had nothing to do with this, first of all. So sifai kumprojectia my pain or my fears or everything. So it comes down to your parent a heal. Juu ile kitu anafanya ni kuharibu, ana hurt the kid na ita go down to generations.
Yeah, sure.
Jusa deno akikosa kuheal, then atai project on the children. Now atai project, so ita come down to the parent. Ata have to work on herself a heal kwanza.
Zipporah, address the parent, especially the nose mother. Not to that's to ni mfano. Don't crucify me.
We will just tell them this.
Yes.
Separate your battles. Know your battle lanes. Know who wronged you and deal with that person. Leave the child alone. The child is innocent. Why is the child suffering? Okay, there are cases that you find that this person has issues, especially if you suffered something like rape, for example, and then you give birth to this child, and then you're now preempting all your anger on you. Seek counseling, as he says, let you heal first. If you cannot deal with your issues, you cannot deal with any other person.
Yeah.
Powerful. I want us to move to one final question. Time is running out here.
Sure.
But now, parent-child conflict, still a very broad thing. We have
Yes.
not tackled so many issues here.
Sure.
And I think we need part 2 of
And
this.
3 and 4.
And 3 and 4.
It's a wide topic.
It's a very good topic,
Quite.
yeah, very wide. Let's talk about step parents. How can we solve conflict between a child and a stepmother or a stepfather? Because at the end of the day, we are still talking about them being a parent.
Oh, yeah.
Parent-child conflict. But they're step-parents. Sometimes people feel as if my stepmother is evil. Or my stepfather is evil. How can we solve this conflict? Let me start with you, BenMark.
So as I said, we must get behind the other person's eyes, because sometimes they see what we cannot see. I'm not undermining the fact that kuna the step parents who will go ahead and torture someone because they are not their own child. But then before tufike kwa mtoto, let's start with the parents. If you want to have someone, you must accept them with their children and everything. So you can't just take someone and treat their children badly. That's wrong. And then for the kids, I think patience will help a lot, because sometimes you can't change. Try to talk to them. Try to talk to your biological parent if he or she is still there. Yeah, and hope for the best. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, to add to what he has just said, I always say fear God. Above all other things, fear God. So you as a step parent who has been given the responsibility of bringing up these children, just know that they are coming from a background where they do not have their own parents. That is why you are there, to act as a step mom. The worst that you can do is to mistreat them. So fear God, treat them well, but there will always be a misunderstanding when comparison comes in. This child wants you to behave like the original mother. Of course, you're two different people. So the child is comparing your everything. You've served me a juice that is half the glass. My mother used to do a whole jug here. Now it means you're not. Are you getting it? So it has to be a win-win situation, 50-50. These children need to respect these parents and to try and understand. But in the event you find that, because again, there's something we call emotional blocking. These children can emotionally block. Hawakutaki, they reject you and they reject you. Seek counseling. That's why we talk about every other time. Seek help from a neutral source so that the person can be able to listen to this and know exactly what is the source of your conflict and how can we help you.
All right.
Yes.
Now, I want us to bring this conversation to a close on that point. But one thing that I want to put on board here, families are bleeding.
Sure.
And I pray that this discussion has helped somebody. We need to have part 2 of this conversation so that we can even touch on many other things. I love the fact that by wherever you're watching us from, you're asking questions. It means this conversation is helpful for you. But because of the interest of time, we have to end it at that particular point. Thanks so much, BenMark, for coming. I appreciate it, my brother.
I had to.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
Zipporah, asante sana. As always,
Karibu.
it's a pleasure.
Karibu
Guys,
sana.
reach out to them on their pages if you have any questions and you feel you want to get solutions. Quote of the day: your children are watching you very, very closely. Showing your children that you can respect each other and resolve conflict respectfully will give them a good foundation for the conflict that arises in their own lives. Do your best to remain relaxed and focused. Use a calm tone of voice and a concerned facial expression when tensions rise. That is something that leads us to the end of this conversation. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. Thank you for choosing Power Talk. Thank you for choosing Y254. My name is Aguko. This is Power Talk.